Hey, well, good morning, Cole Canyon Coyotes. Whether you're a student or staff member, we always appreciate you tuning in each week. We all look forward to a nice spring break coming up with the Easter holiday on Sunday to kick it off. Let's begin our Friday flag video with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. So guys and girls, maybe you've noticed all of our student expectation signs. They're all up now on our campus. Take some time whenever you're out there to read and understand the meaning of what it means to be a hero in the library, the NPR restrooms, on the playground, other places. Today, I want to focus on the signs posted near the restrooms. Each of the rules relate to being a hero, of course. The H in hero is helpful in the restrooms. Clean up after yourself and use only the necessary amount of soap and water and toilet paper needed. Encouraging by allowing others privacy in the bathroom and report any issues to an adult if you see anything. Respectful is the R. Use the restroom for restroom business only, of course. And outstanding. The Kafudi rule applies in there, keeping all hands, feet, other objects to yourself. Really important because that's a big safety expectation. Whether you're a TK student, kindergartner, or a fifth grader, or any grade in between, we thank you ahead of time for doing your part in the restrooms and doing your personal best to be a hero. Next time we will take a look at the NPR expectations. Now we have Dr. Wheeler with a few important reminders. Take it away.
Good morning, students. I have an important reminder for all of you who ride bikes and scooters to school. As you enter the back loop, please remember to stop and get off your bike or scooter at the yellow line. There are yellow lines on both sides as you enter that back loop. This is for your safety and the safety of everyone around you. The back loop can get really busy with students, staff, parents, and they are all trying to get to where they need to be. So by getting off your bike or scooter at the yellow line, you will be able to walk it the rest of the way, avoiding any potential collisions or accidents. Safety is our top priority here at school, and we want to make sure everyone arrives and departs safely each day. So let's all do our part and remember to stop and get off at the yellow line in the back loop. Together, we can keep our school community safe and secure. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Now to Mrs. Lane and Mr. Zanartu.
Well, hello students and staff. Every Friday flag video, we get the chance to recognize students in all grade levels who have earned that hero shout out from their teacher. These are the students who are, again, helpful, encouraging, respectful, and outstanding. So let's get started with Kinder. In Mrs. Miller's class, congratulations to Luca. Amcred's class, Charlie. Mrs. Gorton's class, Jordan and Leah.
And for first grade, from Mrs. Stringer's class, we have Brinley H. From Mrs. Cron, we have Andy. From Mrs. Espinoza, we have Carter. And from Mr. Reagan, we have Logan.
Moving on to second grade. In Mrs. Tree's class, we have Millie. In Mrs. Silva's class, we have Meadow. Mrs. Garrity's class, we have Benjamin. Mrs. Gonzalez's class, we have Luke. Mrs. Manzella's class, we have Eva Marie and Aiden. And Mrs. Schott's class, we have Wyatt.
For our third graders, from Miss Hess's class, we have Declan. From Mrs. Levin's class, we have Eva. From Mrs. Welch, we have Isaiah. From Mrs. Hewitson, we have Blake and Colton. From Mrs. Tope, we have Wayne. From Mrs. De Leon, we have Jace. And from Mrs. Hartley, we have Hudson L. and Aubrey.
In fourth grade, for Mrs. Ariano's class, congratulations to Brixton and Samuel. In Mrs. Schroeder's class, Kendall. In Mrs. Calvillo Murray's class, congratulations to Micah and Mallory. In Mr. Pacey's class, Candace and Gus. In Mrs. Hayes' class, Aaliyah and Layla. And finally, in Mrs. Trujillo's class, congratulations to Brandon.
And finally, rounding it out with our fifth graders, from Mrs. Bryan's class, we have Brandon. From Mrs. Reagan, we have Prince and Alexandra. From Mrs. Greenstein, we have Sophian and Dante. From Mrs. Murray, Manuel. From Mrs. Mirande, Presley and Mucha. From Miss Bethke, we have Peyton. And from Mrs. Hemrick, we have Sophia and Sierra. Congratulations to all of you that have earned this weekly shout out. Remember that your names are entered into our monthly drawing for a class prize at our live Friday flag assembly. Now let's turn this back over to our principal, Mr. Shaw.
Hey, thanks team. Appreciate all the good words there and the shout outs to those students that were heroes last week. Thank you again, students. We really appreciate all your efforts there, no matter where you are on campus. And hey, remember that our reading counts cutoff will be April 18th. So over spring break, make sure you're reading and take those quizzes. We want to make sure we're looking for 100% of all of you to get your reading goals met so that we can have that super recess together. That should be fun. So, all right, we're so proud of your efforts again to be a hero. Thank you, staff. Please enjoy that week off, and we'll see you back on Monday, April 8th. Take care now.